Hello everyone. Good morning and good afternoon to all of you. First of all, thank you so much for joining the session. It means a lot that you are here to learn something new and something very powerful. My name is Ayush Shrivastava. I am a Java backend developer and mainly works with Java, Spring Boot, microservices, APIs, and nowadays AI powered backend systems. Today's topic is very exciting because today we are going to build something that almost everyone has used, like ChatGPT. And the interesting thing is we are going to build a ChatGPT like application using Java and Spring Boot. Okay. Usually, when people think about AI, they think about Python. They think AI is only for the Python developers. But that is not true anymore. Today, Java developers can also build AI-powered application very easily. And the exactly what I am going to show you today. I will explain everything in a very easy way. Nothing is a complex term, no difficult theory, just only a small example, practicals, and understandings. By the end of the session, you will understand how ChatGPT works, what is Spring AI, and how to build your own application, AI applications. So let's begin. So before we start, let's quickly tell you about what we will cover in this session. First, we will cover what is AI. Then we will discuss why developers should care about it. After that, we will understand the limitation and traditional application. Then we will see why Spring AI was created and what the problem it solves. Then we will understand how OpenAI works. After that, we will build simple chat application step by step. Then we will understand the code line by line. And finally, we will do a live demo. So the session is going to be practical and easy to follow. And now our first term is come like what is AI? Let's start with the most basic question. That is what is AI? AI stands for artificial intelligence. It's in very simple words. AI means machines smart enough to quick and respond like human. That's all. Let's explain the with the example. Suppose that you open the chat GPT and ask what is Java. It give you a smart answer. That is AI. Suppose you ask to the chat GPT, write an email for leave application. It write an email for you. Okay, that is the AI. Suppose we ask to the Google Assistant what today's weather. It tells you about the weather. That is the AI. Suppose Netflix recommendation movies based on your interest. That is also AI. So what is happening here? The machine understanding your input, it is processing your request and then generating the smart response. That is intelligence. And because it is done by a machine, we call it artificial intelligence. AI can understand text, AI can understand voice, AI can understand recommendation, AI can understand images, and also AI can generate content. That is why AI is becoming the powerful day by day. So today AI is everywhere. Text, that's and why understanding AI has become most powerful for developers. So that is the AI things. Now our second topic, that is why developers should learn AI. So now let's talk about something important. Why should developer care about AI? Simple answer. Because AI is a very becoming a part of almost every application. Earlier application were static. Now applications are becoming smart. For example, com- customer support system earlier used fixed replies. Okay. Now they use AI chatbot. E-commerce application earlier sold product manually. Now they recommended product intelligently. Education applications earlier had fixed content. Now they are generating personalized content. Okay. You can take the example of the mastering backend also. Earlier, we have some fixed content, but after coming to the AI, we have personalized learning plans. We have a personalized interview panel. Okay, you can also check out our mastering backend page and website. So there you will got the multiple tools that helps you to learn about AI, Java, and programming language like Python, Node.js, and all. So they are with the help of AI. It is very easy to understand it and all the things. Okay. Also, in our healthcare applications, now AI is used for prediction. Banking application use AI for fraud detection. So AI is becoming the part of the every industry, and companies are looking for the developer who understand the AI. Earlier, if you need new backend system, that was enough. But now, if you know backend plus AI, you become a much stronger. And honestly speaking, this is the future. The future is AI powered application. So as a developer, we should start learning it now. So when AI comes in our mind, like in our Google Maps, Netflix suggestion, YouTube recommendation systems, these are some example of daily life we are using as a AI tools. Okay. ChatGPT, I think everyone is using here as a developer or okay. Cloud, Gemini, there are multiple providers of the AI. So now our next topic is traditional application versus AI application. What is difference between them? Now let's understand the difference between traditional application and AI application. Traditional applications work using rules. For example, if user clicks login, authenticate the user. If password is wrong, show error. If user click logout, destroy the session. Everything works on condition. Everything is fixed. Traditional applications are predictable, but they are not intelligent. Now think about AI application. AI application understand the context. For example, if user says, I am confused about Java multi-threading. Okay. Our traditional application content cannot understand this, but AI can understand it and explain it. This is the power of the AI. Traditional applications are static. AI applications are dynamic. Traditional applications are rule-based. AI applications are intelligence-based. And that's why AI application is more powerful than the traditional application way. So in all are the developers. We already know that everywhere we are using AI. So that is important to learn about that. And now come to the Spring AI. It is a module of the Spring. You can. I also share the documentation where you can learn about the Spring AI. It is just a framework. With the help of this framework and Spring Boot, we can build the application smarter. So the problem before Spring AI existing, integration Open API into Java application was difficult. Why? Because developer had made to HTTP calls manually. They had to create bodies manually. They had to manage headers manually. They had to pass the JSON response manually. They had to handle exception manually. And also they had to manage memory manually. Everything was manual. And because of this, development become messy. For example, imaging writing REST template code every time, creating authorization header every time, creating payload every time, sending request and all. Developer wants the simplicity for that. So Spring is famous for simplicity development. So Spring AI was introduced in the market. Okay. Now, what is Spring AI? Spring AI just a framework of a Spring. It is the purpose to make the integration easy for Java developer, just like Spring Boot simplified backend development. Spring AI simplifies AI development with Spring AI. We do not need to do manually call OpenAI APIs. Spring AI provides ready-to-use classes and tools. For example, client, chat client, memory, prompt template, vector stores, embeddings, function calling, and many more. If you already know Spring Boot, learning Spring AI become very easy because it follows same Spring concept beans. Dependency injection, beans, configuration classes, auto configuration. So if you know Spring, you already know half of the Spring AI. Now, how OpenAPI AI works? Now understand how OpenAI works. The flow is simple. The user send a message. Our backend receive the message. The backend send to the OpenAI. OpenAI process it. OpenAI send back to the response, and our system return it to the user. So the flow is very easy. Like user to send the request to the backend. Backend send the request to the OpenAI. OpenAI generate the response. It return to the backend, and backend return to the user. Okay, it's a work like vice versa. Very simple example. OpenAI acts like as a brain. Spring Boot acts like a bridge, and the front end acts as the user interface. That is how everything works. Now we go with the our project architecture. Okay. So first we need to project the architecture on the things. Okay. Now I am going to the our IntelliJ. Okay, just give me a second. I am opening my IntelliJ. IntelliJ is just a application that with the help of that we can create the project. Okay, I open the IntelliJ. Okay. So today's session we need to give the. I think if there is a Java developer, we all have. I think we all know about Java. So this is an IntelliJ idea is the IDE. Okay. So with the help of this tool, we can develop the Java-based application like Spring Boot and all. Okay. So first thing, we need to give the application name. So here I am giving the names. Application name is Masteringbackend GPT. Okay. Masteringbackend GPT. And Java, by default, we selected. Okay. So tools as type as Maven, GPT 1.0.0. 1.0.0. Okay. Now Java, select as package, but I think there is no need of spacing. Okay. Just give me a minute. Give the name like chat GPT. Okay. So selected as the Java version 20, JDK as 22, Java version as 17, packaging as jar, configuration properties as uh, properties. Now come to here. Now select the Java Spring Boot version. For now, we are using 3.5.1.4. Okay. Now adding dependencies like webs for developing the REST API. We are using web dependency. For Azure, here we are using Azure OpenAI. Okay. We have as I told you earlier that we have a multiple provider of AI. So here for basic purpose, we are using Spring Azure AI. Azure AI. Okay. Now we are adding some dependency like Lombok. Lombok is a tool. I think most of the people here used Lombok previously. Okay. So what is happening behind that? The project is creating. Okay. So this is the IntelliJ idea. Okay. Come to here. So just go to our package section. Now, first thing, we need to create a package. I create the package that is controller and config. We need to create two packages. It's just a folder. You can say that. In every language, we need to create the package and folder. So now first come to the configuration part. Before that, I am adding some application properties. For configuration, we need to first address this. For that, we have some limit of amount of time. So what I do, I just adding all the things like Spring AI, OpenAI. These are the keys that we need to add here. Okay. Just give me a second. I copy from the another project and paste here and explain you each and everything in line by line. So for Azure OpenAI, we have multiple things need to configure with our Spring AI project. Okay. So what are the things? I will explain you. First thing, there is an OpenAI key that is provided by Spring Azure AI. I will also share the document and all the resources of today's session and fourth. So you will understand, take the reference of that. And also, I will share one article that you take the help of that. You can how to be generate the OpenAI with the help of Azure. We can understand this the help. Okay. So we are using endpoint Azure OpenAI, and also there is a what is the mod deployment name that we are configure here. And one more thing, the temperature of the AI. Okay. That is also we need to set here. For now, our backend server is run on 8081 port. So these are the configuration that we need to implement it on the backend side. Now come to the or also these all the things we are taking from the environment variable. So in Spring Boot, in IntelliJ, how we set up, just click on these three dots, going to the edit button, come to the modify option and enable the environment variable from here. Okay. Once you click on the environment variable, this will come. Okay. Now you can just copy and paste your environment variable from your application to here. In environment variable, just copy paste all the things like your OpenAI key, OpenAI endpoint, and deployment name. Okay. So our configuration is done. Now we need to what we do currently. Just I have conclude everything. Okay. The first dependency we need to add like Spring Web. Then we add the dependency Lambo. Then after that we add the dependency like Azure OpenAI for connecting to the third-party APIs. That's why. Because of reduced boilerplate code, we are using Lombok. Then we configure the API key in application.property. This is the application.properties file inside the resource folder. The API key, because it is uses for the authentication in Azure site. Okay, so this setup is very simple. Just dependency and API key you need to configure. Okay. After that, now come to the config part. So just going to the config and in a config, what we need to create? We need to create a class that is a chat GPT. That is the chat config. Okay. Chat config. This is the class configuration class. Okay. So this is the class that we use for the configuration. Now, first thing we need to create the chat client here. Okay. So chat client, what is chat client? I will explain you sometime. Okay. So just create the bean of that. Bean, you already know. When we annotate any method with the help of bean annotation, then everything is taken care by the Spring. We don't need to create the object of that. So first public, we just creating a client, chat client. It is providing by the Spring Azure AI. Chat client. So on this bracket, we need to pass the parameter like chat client dot builder and builder. Okay. Also, for this, we are using chat memory. Chat memory, what is that chat memory? I will explain you inside. Just give me a minute. I code, then I will explain you what I am writing here. So just we are passing chat client, chat memory, chat memory, chat memory. Okay. And returning the type, returning builder dot default advisor. In a default advisor, we are using message chat memory because we are sending the messages So we are using the here message message chat advisor dot builder chat memory. I think we need to close this so it is clear to all of you. In chat memory, also we are using build because this is the builder. So just build it. This is giving error. Okay, okay. Just we need to build the object for first this. Then we build again. Okay. So this is the bean that we created of the chat client and the chat memory. One more thing for the chat memory, we need to create the bean. So everything is now taken care by the Spring AI. We doesn't need to create the object and all. All the things is handled by the Spring framework itself. Okay. So just creating the chat memory and returning type as window and the message window chat memory. How many much response time and all that we needed to add here. Now come to the PPT parts to understand what is the this is the project structure and how we set up all the things like Lombok, Spring OpenAI Starter, Azure Web, and all we set up application properties. What we need to integrate, that's all the things already we do in demo files. Okay. Now AI controller code. So understanding first we understand the like the chat client. What is the chat client? So many beginners and all we are asking about the chat client. So chat client is the main class of the Spring AI. With the help of chat client, we can talk to the OpenAI. Here we are using OpenAI. We can say that with the help of chat client, we can talk to the AI. Things chat client is as a messenger. It takes your message, send it to OpenAI, receive the answer, and return the answer to us. Okay. So this is just a chat client. Okay. Now, second thing comes to our mind is chat memory. Chat memory is just a memory part. With the help of chat memory, we can store the data. For example, in a chat GPT, what we do, first we tells about the what, for example, we are giving the name to the chat GPT that my name is Ayush Shrivastava. Then after some time, when we go to ChatGPT and ask what is my name, then ChatGPT tells you your name. So this all the things handled by the chat memory. It enables contextual conversation by configuring the chat memory to retain message string. And it also contained with the help of message window chat memory to store the last message seamless with a multi-turn dialog. Okay. So this is all about the chat memory. Now there is a basic question. What is the difference between chat client and the chat model? In a simple word, chat model is a low level. It is directly chat model. Chat model is a very low level. It is a directly talks to the OpenAI. Chat client is a high level. It makes things everything is there. Things like easier. Things like the chat model is a chat client is a steer wheel. Most of the time, developers use chat client because it is simple, less code, cleaner code, and easier to maintain. So this is all about the chat client. Now we need to come on the controller part. So first we go to the our class and into the configuration class. Okay, so going to the code part. Now let's understand configuration class. The class that is created creates the chat client bean and chat memory bean. The main purpose of creating this class as configuration class because the main purpose of this class is creating the client bean. It's, first we create the chat memory. What is chat memory? Chat memory is just simple, it stores previous conversation. It is a very simple memory that is used to store the previous information, just like ChatGPT remembers what you said earlier. For example, if you say, my name is Ayush, and later you ask, what is my name? Without memory, AI will don't know. With memory, AI remembers. That's why memory is important part here. We use message window chat memory. So what is this? It stores limited number of messages. In our case, we set it as 20. Okay. That means the AI remember at least 20 messages. If 21 messages come, the oldest one is removed. Okay. This is called sliding window memory. Okay. Then we create the chat client. This is the chat client. Chat client being we inject the chat client builder. If we inject chat memory on it, then we connect the memory using message memory advisor to the window. The advisor ensure every new message, including previous conversation history, that makes our chat intelligence. Then we build chat client, okay, this thing, and the configuration class is ready to use. Now, how to use this configuration? So just we need to create the API. Now, our talk to how we create the API for that, because we have configured all the things like we created the chat client, we created the chat memory for storage. Now, let's create the chat controller with the help of we calling this API. Let's go to here and go into the Java class. Either I am creating the controller like name, giving name as AI controller. Now, creating this class as a REST controller, I am giving the annotation. First, I code everything, then I explain you everything about this REST controller. When we mark any class as a REST controller, then this class is acts as a controller part. Also, we are giving the request mapping for that. Request mapping, it maps all the controller with the request mapping is just a notation that we use as class level. Okay. Also, we can use as method level as well, but usually we use as class level. So for all the API, this is the base path. For setting the base path, we are using request mapping here. Also, before that, I am telling you about Lombok. So here we are using just a required ask constructor. This will create the all the constructor that is required for this class. Okay. Previous that we are configuring the chat client. Now it's time to inject here. So for injecting the chat client, what we are doing, we just create the private and final variable and also injecting this. This is importing, it is coming from the Spring Framework AI. Okay. Just import it here. So what we do, we injecting this thing to our controller. Now just create an get endpoint. Okay. Because we are asking something. So here we are using get endpoint. Actually, I am using GitHub Copilot. So that's why every suggestion I am getting here. So this is the power of the AI also. You can say that with the help of, it is easy for the developer to use everything. Now I'm creating the method. I will explain you all the thing sometime. Just I have code something, then I will explain. So what we do, we just creating the get annotation. Okay. So it is not a get, it's a get mapping. Get mapping annotation. Okay. And there is a path variable. Path variable is what other path variable? With the help of path variable, we are taking the input, okay, chat slash API slash chat and some message. That message is bind to this message. Okay. From this, we are extracting the message on the this thing. Now come to the chat client part. Okay. Chat client. We are using chat client earlier one. Chat client dots. Now in AI language, user input called as the prompt. So what we need to here, we need to create the prompt. Just creating the prompt. Which type of prompt? It is a user one, right? So user, and this message we need to pass here for the user one. Then we call this message, and it converts to the chat response. Because for Spring AI, we need for the chat memory, we need to the response in a chat response format. So just introducing a local variable with the help of chat response. Okay, where everyone you knows about that. Okay. You are in JavaScript also we have a web something. Okay. Now We need also the tokens. How many tokens we are using here for chat memory and all. That is also we need to configure. It is not important. Just I am adding that so I can show that how much token it uses. So that's why total tokens. In chat response, we will get the metadata of that. Okay. In metadata, we take the usage and get total tokens. So how many tokens we consume in each request, that is also we uh, extract from here. Now come to the here. And at the time of that, we are print that. So here, it is not a best practice to use system dot or dot println. We are using always using logging, but here for the some time constraint, we are using that. Okay. Now it is returning something. So what's the return? Returns and response result. Okay. What we get the data from the chat response, we get the result. We are converting that to the output, and with the help we are getting the response in text format because we are using string. So we will get the response of that. Now all the code of controller class is also done. Now understanding what we are doing here. Okay. So this is also important thing is what we are doing here. Okay, just give me a second. Here, first thing, what we are handling. Now we have a AI controller class. We use REST controllers like this, okay, because this class exposes the API. Then we use request mapping, which means every API in this controller will start with the slash API. As I told you, this is a global thing. Then we use reops constructor, the required args constructor. We can say that. Okay. This is a lumber connotation. It is automatically create constructor injection. Now inside the class, we have a chat client. Okay. So what is the chat client? Chat client is the main class of the OpenAI that talks to the main class of the Spring AI that talks to the OpenAI. Think a chat client like a messenger. It takes the message, send it to the OpenAI, receive the answer, and return the answer to us. So that's why we are using chat client here. Okay. Now there is a get endpoint. This means whenever user send the message in the URL, this API will be handled. Okay. Then we will receive the message using the path variable. So if the URL is chat slash hello, then the message becomes hello. Now comes to the important part, that is the chat client prompt. This one. Okay. This starts the conversation. User message. This adds the user message. Okay. Now call. This sends the request to the OpenAI. Then come to the chat response. This response we get in a chat response format. Create prompt. So the complete flow is very simple. First, we creating the prompt. Then add the user message. Then we sending the request with the help of call method. Then we are getting the response. Okay. Simple. Then we got the also we are here we are getting the metadata of how much token we are using. Okay. So token is basically a unit of text. For example, a word may be one or more tokens. Tracing taken help the monitor cost. Okay. Also, we are monitoring with the alpha how much cost of the because Spring AI, as I told you earlier, the Spring OpenAI is a paid. So how much token we use here? So that is also things. Finally, we extract the AI response text to return. Okay, in a text format. This is how our controller works. Okay. So now it's time to run the application and start the demo of that. Okay. What we are doing, just running by clicking on this icon, just asking for the enable notation. So just I enable it. It is running. Now in a live demo, I will run the application. Then I call the API. Okay. First example I am taking here, what is Java? Okay, because we are developing the application with the help of Java. So just it is running. If there is a no mistake in code, then it is running successfully and giving this thing like started mastering backend application. Okay. Which port it is running? The running port is 8081. Now come to the here, open the new window and then HTTP server name is this and slash API slash chat. So first question I am asking to this, what is Java? What is Java? And hit enter. We are say, giving the input as a user. It will send it to the Spring or Spring AI send to the request to the OpenAI. OpenAI creating the research over there and creating the response for that and sending to us. So we are getting the response in this way. My question is, what is Java? It will explain what is Java. Okay. So this is the power of AI. We just create the application. Now come to the application. Here you can say that how many tokens we use. There is the 974 token we are using for this single request. Okay. So this is the power of AI. Now the question is, what is the use of chat memory? So for chat memory, first I am giving the example of that. That my name is Ayush. Okay. I tell our server that my name is Ayush. Then what's the response we getting? Nice to meet you, Ayush. How can I help you today? Okay. So what we do, we just save the name of our with the help of using these tokens to the chat memory. Now, next time we jump when we come to the here, we just go to the this one slash. So now my question is, what is my name? So what is the response? Your name is Ayush. So how these all the things are work now you can clearly understand. Okay, this preserve the memory is working, and the beautiful thing is, why did not manually storing anything? Spring AI handles everything. That is the power of Spring AI. Okay, so now how much memory it consume tokens? It consumes 786 tokens for that. Okay. So this is the complete flow of the application. Now we handle some real world example of that also. Just give me a second. Go to the PPT part. Live demo have been done, okay, with the help of what is Java and all. Principal real world use cases. Okay, in a real world use cases like customer support chatbot, education assistance, as we are using in a marketing backend. There are multiple assistants that we are using here. Interview preparation bots, coding assistants, meeting summarizers. Okay, resume summarizer as someone told us earlier, like document question and answer system, healthcare support system, shopping assistants, content generation system, and also there are multiple possibilities. These are just the beginning of that. In the next session, what we need to cover here. Now, after learning this, what should be next learn? Like streaming responses. This give you typing effects like ChatGPT. Okay. Vector database to store knowledge. RAG, retrieval argument generation. PDF chat systems. You also know that in a next workshop, I will create the chat PDF chat system. So how that we can create with the help of Spring AI and Spring Boot and OpenAI, I will explain you everything. So just follow our page on social medias like Instagram, LinkedIn, and all. That is the mastering backend. So you will get the quickly update of every week we are doing workshop on every Saturday on every weekend we are doing workshop. So you will understand what the AI and things. Function calling, database, chat memory, multimodal support, Azure OpenAI. These all the things in we are covering in a future scope. So today, what we learned, we understood why AI matters. We saw the limitation and traditional application. We learned what Spring AI is. We understand how OpenAPI works. We built ChatGPT like backend with the help of chat memory and all. We understood chat client. We understood memory. We saw how easy AI integration become with the help of Spring AI. My advice is to everyone is simple. Start building, start experimenting, start learning Spring AI because future belong to the developers knows who knows AI. Backend plus AI is a very powerful combination nowadays. And thank you so much for your time. I hope this session helps you. Now I am open for the question. Please feel free to ask anything. Thank you so much, guys. And you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn. I have added my LinkedIn also here. And also, you can contact me over email and all the related resource and all. I will share you on your mails regarding this, like code, templates, and PPTs and all. All the things I'll share to you. Right?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much for that powerful session. We really appreciate the knowledge that you've shared so far. So we have a few questions from members right here, and I'm going to read them out so that you address them one after the other. Okay, so the first question is, will it store entire history or summary of messages? All right, so
Yeah.
Jack did.
It is.
You can
Yeah.
unmute yourself and ask the question properly. Maybe you give him more context.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, my question was like, while we using this chat memory interface, yeah. So, I mean, does it store the entire history, or internally they have some prompt and just summarize our conversation? And I think in your response you said it will store the question, and I mean, it just store the question or also store the response while ask the question, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a
It is.
conversation or just a question.
Yeah, yeah. Your question is fine. Actually, Jagdish, it is using storing the only the question part, contextual form. The whole question and the whole response, if we are adding on a memory part, it is very hard to manage. So it only store the some rag format data in a just a contextual format. For example, I am saying that my name is Ayush. Okay, so it is a map the all the things that the user who sent this request. It is the name of the Ayush. So next time when we come, it and ask to the
Okay.
model
Mm,
that
mhm,
so this is the format. This is not storing the entire history. It is only contextual part. It is storing honestly.
uh-huh. Okay, so it means like it will not store the response. And suppose while we are doing the chat with the suppose chat GPT, yeah. So suppose if you ask create a REST API for me, so it will create the REST API, and at the end also ask like, do you want to generate the README file? So if we ask yes, then it will do the processing based on the response. So I
Yeah,
think based on only this state memory, it will not going to work. Yeah, I guess because it just stored the question, not the
it
response.
is just no. It is store the not storing question, not storing the response. It is just storing the conceptual part. Okay, you know that artificial intelligence is the learning models LLM. So
Uh-huh.
it is learn how we are giving the input. It's first it's processing on system. Okay, only important context part is storing on their side. For example, as you said that you are giving the controller, just create the REST API for you, and after that you come to ChatGPT and ask generate the README file. Okay. So you saw that sometime it is giving the correct response, but after giving multiple prompt, you will get the correct response that you want. So if you are, it is storing the question or the answer, no, it is just storing the context of the your question. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, okay.
So
And yeah, yeah. And one more thing, does it store in any database or it just in memory? I mean, can we store in Postgres or somewhere, or
Yeah,
how it will keep it?
in a chat memory, it is storing in a local memory. Okay, but
Uh-huh.
in we can also store it in a Postgres and all. But it is
Uh,
the advanced part that I also will tell you about PG
uh-huh.
vectors and all. So
Uh-huh.
for that, we can use also Redis and for fast response. You saw that I am sending the request and we are getting the response very lately. The reason is it is storing in a local memory.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Many thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Jagdish.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. I have another question here. It says, I have a doubt. How are you, how are we using vector database?
Yeah, for this, we are not using vector DB. In a future scope, we are covering that also. Vector database is only used for embedding sense all on. For we need to embed something like okay, what is embedding? What is the vector DB? We will discuss in future scope. Okay, so this is some
Hi,
advanced
Ayush.
concept that we will learn.
I have doubt.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm working as a backend developer. So I want to learn AI. So in future interviews, what they will expect in AI for backend developer?
So in which language you using
I'm using
for
Java
backend?
Spring Boot only. Java Spring Boot.
Yeah, there is a very simple answer for you for now. Right? There is very less hirings related to Spring AI nowadays. You can check out on LinkedIn as well. Okay, but we are as we know that we are slowly moving to the Spring AI things. Okay. So in an interview, they basically ask you about what are the embeddings, what is the RAG, okay, uh, and what are the vector embeddings, what is the vector DB. These are the some basic questions you are facing in a Spring AI interview. Okay. So this is very small thing. You can check out on many social medias. You can also check out my personal LinkedIn profile where I share multiple interview questions of related to Spring AI. Also, if I got anything, I will share it.
Okay, Ayush. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, next
All
question.
right. Thank you very much for that response. And I think that's all the questions that I can see here. But if anybody else has any question, just let me know, raise your hand, and we are going to give you the mic to speak. All right. So if there is any question, just let me know. All right. So while we wait for people to ask questions, let me walk you through again what we do at Mastering Backend. So at Mastering Backend, we are building the systems that would help people grow in their career. We have different approach that we tend to use to help people grow in their career. So the ultimate goal is to help people learn highly paid backend engineering roles, and we use this three-step approach, which is learn, build, and grow. So the learn aspect is where we actually do the teaching. So we can teach you using courses. We can also teach you using boot camps. And then we have structured roadmaps that you can take to get to a particular aspect in your career. Okay, and then for the build part, we also give you projects, different backend engineering projects with PRODs, and lots of detailed information around how to build these projects. Okay, so next is the grow part. So the grow part, we build different tools that would help you scale and grow in your career. So the first tool that we have is mock interviews. So mock interview is a tool that we are launching very soon, right? So I think I should just share my screen and show you guys. So the mock interview is launching very soon, like I said. So it's going to enable you to practice backend engineering interviews and know your score and know exactly how to improve. So you can go to masteringbackend.com interviews to get detailed information about that particular tool. So here it says practice backend interviews designed to get you hired. Okay. So when you when you come in, you select a template of the kind of interview you want to practice. We also have AI engineering interviews, right? And then you select that, and then you go into the interview session where you have conversations with mock interview with CAP, which is our AI that is going to help you with the interviewing. And then at the end of the interview, you have a summary of how you perform in the interview. So it gives you a detailed information about your performance, and then it makes some recommendations for you. Okay, so this particular tool is currently in beta, but of course, you can sign up to Mastering Backend just to be notified when it is fully launched. And now for some of our paths, like I said before, the learning path or the learning approach here basically helps you with the learning part. So it gives you content and also help you learn practically. So we have the first part that is live right now, which is become a Python backend engineer. So here we have everything that you will need to learn Python and also become a backend engineer with Python and an AI engineer using Python also. So if you look through, you will see like the content that is here. We start with like the Python essentials, which also has like good quizzes to actually help you measure what you're learning. And then when you're done with Python Essential, we also want you to build a project, which is where the build part actually comes in to reinforce your learning and help you build practical muscles, right? So after this, you move down to like different other courses like data structures and algorithm with their own quizzes, advanced Python, which talks about object-oriented programming paradigms in Python, and many other advanced concepts in Python. After the advanced part, you start building your own library management system. So we have that project already. There are other people building that particular project. So you go through that, you learn how to use the knowledge that you built by learning those Python essentials and advanced and use it to deliver on this project. So moving on from there, you start with the mastering Django, which actually teaches you a lot about Django. And then you start shipping different projects. So you have your own credit list, and then we have built 30 projects in 30 days. So that particular course details how to build real world projects, 30 of them, so that you learn how to flex your muscle, have the practical knowledge to start building your own real world projects. And after this, you have like two more projects right here to build. And after that, you have a mock interview that is scheduled for you automatically. So you jump into our mock interview platform and then you do this interview and then you either pass or you have like a detailed information about how to improve and different recommendations that it can give to you. Now, after this, you start looking into production ready backend systems, right? And you start also moving into AI engineering with Python. So we have AI engineering course right here that teaches you a lot, from the foundations of AI down to how you can build like MCP servers, AI agents using Python. So after this, you also move into like the AI interview, mock interview, where the questions around this is going to be relating to AI and AI engineering. So you have to, go through that, pass it, and then when you're done with that, you look into LinkedIn optimization, technical interview blueprints, just to give you what you need, the skills that you need, the tools that you need, and everything that you need to be ready for the job market. So that is the Python part. And of course, we are still currently building the Java parts, as you can see here, but it is open for registration at a very, very, very low cost, okay, until when it is ready. So right now we have 11 items, 5 courses, and 6 quizzes. So you can get started with any of these parts immediately, even right now. So if you want to do that, DM Mastering Backend, you can send it to hi@masteringbackend.com. And then we are going to look for a good discount that fits you because you're basically coming from one of our workshops and then you're going to get started with any of these parts. So that's what I just wanted to share with you guys. And let's continue again with the workshop. Okay, guys. So it seems like we do not have any question. This recording for this call is going to be ready. So it's going to be ready very soon. And I will share with you that I've registered for this particular event. But also, you can also watch other of our workshops, including the past one that Ayush did, like the part one of this particular workshop. You can also watch it on our YouTube channel. So I've also added the link to our YouTube channel on this chat, right? And I'm also going to reshare it again. Okay, so I'm just sending the link to the previous video right there. So take a look at it, watch it, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel because most of our free courses and workshops like this are posted on that YouTube channel. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys on the next workshop.